I'm making breakfast. And I realized that I hadn't actually made a video for this month yet. And it's almost the first Monday of November, so I need to get my act together and actually make one. But right now, I'm hungry and I don't really have anything to tell you, so I'm making pancakes and coffee. Coffee, don't burp when I'm trying to talk to Courtney. Rude. I think I should have 3 cups of pancake mix. We're gonna make 18 to 27 pancakes. The last time I made that, I got 12. They were big pancakes. So, you're welcome for having my leftover Medusa hair this morning, because last night we had a party at Olivia's. Oh my god, look at that. It's 3 cups exactly. I'm good. Okay. Anyway, so we had a Halloween party last night, and in which we all played a drinking game, and I had water because I didn't feel good. And we all decided that we're lame adults now and no longer in college, because we barely did any part of that game. It was fun. But we were also by 10:30 yawning, and we were like, guys, I'm done. So adult life is fun. That's when my hair's all still, because I haven't taken a shower. Because I don't wanna, and I'm hungry. So I want food first. Get 2 cups of water. And I understand this is a solids cup measuring spoon, but I don't care. I started, after Fight Club, I started rereading the I'm Number 4 series. I was gonna pick up with Fated 10, which is the one that I had started reading, and I was like, wait, no, I haven't read Revenge of 7. I can't skip an entire book in this series. But I was looking at, in the front, he has the list of, all the books that are out, and the 2 novellas, the last 2 novellas actually come before the Fate of 10 was on the novel list. So I am reading those, which I think is going to help me put me back into that world, because it takes so long to realize what's happening again once you haven't read this series in a while. And he writes in different characters, so I'm trying to remember which one has what superpower besides telekinesis, because they all have that. Anyway, so that's been good. I read most of that yesterday. I started reading or listening to Little Women at work, because it's about the time of year where I don't really do anything anymore. It's mostly just previewing and making sure everything looks right in the maps, which involves very little work for me except arrowing back and forth and up and down in the image, which gets a little tedious. And my work friends and I realized it's very good book reading season. So last release, I read all 7 Harry Potter books in about a month and a half or 2 months. This time I've just been looking through LibriVox, I think is what it's called. It's an app on the phone. My friend uses something else and I can't remember what it's called. But these are all free because it's all public domain books, and they're all read by volunteers. So all the audiobooks are free. You can also volunteer to read audiobooks if you would so like. So I'll put that link somewhere here or down there in case you're interested in doing that. I thought about it. Maybe we'll voice some audiobooks soon. But I started Little Women because I realized I hadn't actually ever read that in middle school when most people our age read it. They're all published before like 1923 because that puts them in the public domain, like they're out of copyright stuff. So those are the free ones. They also have ones that you can purchase in like newer books. Turning the oven on probably would have been a good idea. I'm wearing my grandma's apron that she made, my great grandma's, and it has pockets, and that lady had some style because it's quite fetching and useful. It has 2 pockets. Next weekend I'm going to help Logan's sister move all her stuff from their mom's in Nebraska because she moved back here to Missouri. I'm also looking at places to move to in Missouri because my lease is up in February. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper to live in Missouri than it is here in Kansas. So, looking at that. Saw a couple apartments. There's a couple houses. Logan and I are trying to figure that mess out. I got invited to a friend's wedding in Montana next year, so that's gonna be fun. I RSVP'd for that. And I get to go back to Montana. Yay! The bubbles pop up in your pancake, that means it's time to flip it. Or when I was little, we used to test if spaghetti was done by throwing it against the wall and seeing if it stuck. If it stuck, it was starchy enough that it would stick to the wall and be done. That's how you know. Also, how you get kids to like helping you with dinner. Make it a game, throw food at the walls. My one friend that I probably talk about all the time, Danica, she and I are pretty much the same person, we've come to realize. And it's fantastic because then we tend to have lunch together and talk about things and generally have the same stuff going on. She has a super giant family of like 10 kids, I think. And mine's like relatively small in comparison. I have 2 brothers and me, you know that. So it's not a whole bunch of people. But we were talking that like our grandmas really like to cook. And like we would help them and stuff on holidays. And then somehow that just kind of skipped our mom's generation in the gene pool of wanting to cook because her mom doesn't ever want to do anything and mine tries real hard and can cook some things, but I just didn't like it. I didn't burn it. They're very thick pancakes. There's no way I'm getting 18 to 27 out of these. I think this is done. Yay, we're done. I don't have a plate to put it on. What am I doing? Failing at life. But besides failing at life, I am sorely unprepared for this pancake video. I'm listening to a lot of podcasts at work too. That one was almost burnt. This is why you should not vlog and cook things. This is what happens when my mother tries to cook things. Going full circle back around. I kind of want a podcast because I feel like I have more things to talk about than to actually do. But also, I find myself real boring. So I don't know who in the world would want to listen to that podcast or what it would actually... See? Boring myself. Hashtag gone. Because, you know, I mean, I got some fun stories and like life experience stuff because I am approaching 25, which is a quarter life crisis, apparently. I feel like I'll get real deep here. When I was younger, I thought 20-year-olds were so adult And now that I'm 20, I realize everybody's just faking it, and we're all just trying to not die. And we're all just trying to have enough money for rent and food. While we try to figure out what the heck we want to do with our lives. And I was thinking about that the other day because they started talking about it on the podcast. But, like, my parents had two children by the time they were my age. And I know this because we were talking about it with my mama the other day, plus math, because that's how math works. I know how old they are, and I subtract how old I am. I found out how old they were when they had me. Math. I know you don't like math, but I brought it back, so just bear with me. So, anyway, they had two kids, and I always thought, like, growing up, like, you don't really talk to your parents about this, or, like, I didn't. I don't know if other people do, and maybe I just missed that ball, but, like, you never really talk to them about what they were like thinking or what their life was like at the moment you are at, because you always think that, like, you know so much better and they don't know anything about you and all the teen angst. If I wasn't on my phone videotaping, maybe I could call my mom. What if I can call my mom and videotape this? I can't, because I had stopped recording what I get out of the video application on my phone. But, no guest speakers on the video today. But it's just funny how, like, we don't really think about that, and, like, I feel like 20-somethings, even 30-somethings, like, the moment you graduate, you're expected to be like an adult without any training on how to do that, because up until you graduate, you're treated like a baby. And you basically are, because your brain's not developed fully until like you're 25 anyway. But you have to make all these grown-up life decisions that you're like, what's your major if you go to college, or what do you want to do, where are you gonna work, and people are like, there's so much pressure on those decisions. And, like, I don't know, I tried AmeriCorps because I was like, why not? I'm gonna do that because I know if I go into a real life job right away, I'm not gonna want to come out of that, so I'm gonna take full advantage of that opportunity while I can and take my single butt out to Montana for a year and do it. And I did, and it's great. That's not a plug for AmeriCorps. It could be. It's not. Just drowning in all these things that, like, over time you're like, they're not that, it's fine. But it was such a learning curve. I was freaking out so bad. And like, I don't know. It's better now. What about the pancakes on Sunday morning has brought out such deep conversations in me? But, like, we don't teach things like that. Oops. Would prepare pancakes, just work with me. Teach things that would prepare you for life. And I'm not talking about the board game, because I was a master at that. But, like, no one taught you what healthcare was, what, like, insurance means, really. How do you pay taxes? What are taxes? Why are they important? We were talking at lunch again the other day about, not we, Danica and I were talking about using, like, our vacation time to go, like, see family and stuff, and how, like, some people our age are like, well, I'm only gonna take, like, 2 sick days this year. Like, that's all I've used so far, and that's all I really want to take. because they're like stockpiling it for, so you can take like a week off, which is fine. I mean, that's kind of like how everybody has done it up until this point, work-wise, because that's like what I was talking to my supervisor about this at like our annual review too, about just like work patterns between generations, because they're everywhere from like 60-year-olds to right out of college in my team, so there's a lot of cultural differences amongst us, and he has to kind of navigate all of those. But like, I am more happy with like the occasional mental health day off than like taking a full week, because honestly that stresses me out more. Like when I was gone for surgery, I came back and was like, freaking out. I don't know anything. I don't know where we're at. What is going on? I've missed so much. I had 105 emails. Which I know most of it is just me. I stress out way too much. I am an anxious person. It happens. I'm learning to cope with it. That actually has no point. That's where I'm going to resolve this conversation, because I have no end point to it. Because I'm currently living it. So far we are 5 pancakes in. 5 pancakes in. And like at least 45 minutes, if not an hour of me talking. That was some stimulating kitchen conversation. It's great. Between the coffee and the pancakes, it's real hot in here. It's a weird October. I think it was 80 degrees yesterday. It's supposed to be like 60 something today. I mean, it's October. What is going on? The Midwest is so weird with the weather. Pretty much wraps up the video, I guess, because I'm pretty much done with the pancakes and pretty much out of conversation. And out really of a good way to end this video. So I will see you soon.